You should be tired. You should be tired of living an unfulfilling life. You should be tired of having unfulfilling conversations, of having an unfulfilling day, of retiring to your bed at night feeling unfulfilled. It's a bland life, and it's not a life that we're supposed to be living. It's not right, and no animals other than humans feel this way. But how did we get to this point? Because me and you, all of us have felt this before. It's because we've been AFK most of our lives. AFK stands for away from keyboard, and it's like video game slang for if you're playing a game with your friends and then you suddenly leave and you leave your friends hanging and your character is like just staring into space. He's AFK, away from keyboard. Being AFK doesn't have to be online. You're AFK if you're eating dinner with your mom and your mind is 30 miles away. If you're doing something physical, like you're going for a run or you're weightlifting, and you're thinking about something else, you're AFK. If you're having a conversation, you're thinking about something else, and you're not listening to what your friend is saying, you're AFK. If you're playing an instrument and you're thinking about something else, and you're not focusing on your instrument, you're AFK. So when are we not AFK? We're not AFK when we're having a conversation with someone. We're looking directly in their eyes and we're hearing everything we're saying, and there's no other thought in the world. Nothing has our attention more than the exact thing that this person is saying. When we're working out and we feel the burning of our muscles and we feel our hearts pumping, that's not being AFK. When we're washing our hands and we feel the cold water in our hands and the bubbly texture of the soap, we're not AFK. This is called being present. Being present is when we're focused entirely on what we're doing exactly right now. Right now, there should be no thoughts in my head. All that I should be doing is focusing on speaking to you. I'm not thinking about what I'm going to have for dinner or what I'm going to work out tomorrow or what I'm even doing tomorrow. I'm thinking about being right here, right now. Can you see it in my eyes that I'm completely focused on talking to you? This is how you should be with everyone. Thoughts come, of course. I can't constantly be present and focusing entirely on you right now, but I don't get lost in the idea of them. I don't get lost in the story that my mind is creating. I just am focusing right here, right now. But why should we want to even be present? Well, for one, it helps us enjoy things. One of the saddest things about being a human is that we can be doing something that we should be enjoying, but we're not because our mind is somewhere else. If we're in the moment and we're focused exactly on every sensation that we're experiencing, and we're not focusing on the story our mind is creating, everything becomes so much more fun and enjoyable. Being present also helps us with our urges. If we're trying to stop doing something, like let's say I'm trying not to eat chips. If I've been AFK all day, as soon as I get the urge to eat chips, I'm gonna go get a bag of chips. But if I've been present throughout the day, as soon as I feel that urge and notice that urge, I realize I don't have to act on it. I'll be more able to let the urge go and go back to whatever I was doing if I've not been AFK today. Being present is actually one of the things that doctors are recommending now for someone that's trying to quit an addiction. Obviously, it's not a magical pill and you're magically going to stop smoking cigarettes as soon as you start being present, but it gives us an advantage to be able to observe our thoughts and our urges and not act on them. That one time you don't act on your urge is so powerful compared to the 10 times that you do. And being present helps us not act on our urges all the time. I don't want to sound harsh, but sometimes, and this is the truth, if you are having a conversation with someone, if I was talking to you right now and your mind is 50 miles away, I'm not going to want to talk to you anymore. Have you ever talked to someone and you can see that their eyes are darting, they're looking up, they're not focused on you? How does that make you feel? It makes you feel unimportant. And one of the most important things we want from each other is to feel important. You're not present, you're not making that person feel important, they're not going to want to talk to you. I'm not saying stare at someone's soul completely when you're talking to them, but make them feel heard. Make them know that you're being listened to. Every time you have a conversation with someone, they should know that all you're focusing on and all you're thinking about is that conversation. You're nowhere else but focusing on them. That is being present. Fastest way to make a friend and make someone want to keep talking to you? Be present. Listen to them. Look at them. People don't want to be around other people that are miles away. It's not fun and it's awkward. It feels like you're the one that's holding the conversation up and they're kind of there just... Yeah, bro. It's like, we don't want to be that person, right? Our default state is being AFK. That's the thing. You take 3 conscious breaths. In the middle of breath 2, your mind is already going to be thinking about something else because our default state is being AFK. So once we encounter someone that's actually present and focused on us, this could be you. It's like a breath of fresh air. I'm like, oh my God, man, this guy is actually here. This is so nice. Finally, someone who's listening and not in his head. And we have less anxiety when we're present because most anxiety is about stories we've created in our head. And once we get out of our head and into what's happening right here, right now, what is there to be anxious about? A goal we can make is instead of having our default state being AFK, is to turn it into being present. Instead of taking breaks from being AFK to be present, we'll instead accidentally take breaks from being present, and we notice, oh shit, I'm completely in my head, and then we're back in the present moment. This should be a goal we can have. You feel more alive when you're present. You can look back on memories that you made 3 months ago and be like, that was such a good time because you were actually there. You were actually experiencing it. It's become such a profound time in your life because all of you was there. Every day kind of becomes an adventure because there's so much to experience. Because have you ever truly felt what it feels like to brush your teeth? You're probably thinking, what the fuck is this guy talking about? Obviously, I've felt what it feels like to brush my teeth. But aside from the minty aftertaste, the feeling of holding your toothbrush, bamboo if you're cool, the little bristles rubbing against your bone, and the strange, weird sensation that feels like, have you actually ever felt that? Or have you ever just been brushing your teeth and you're either watching a YouTube video or you're thinking about something else? There is something new to experience every single day. That is so exciting. You've never been to space, but you've also never felt what it feels like to actually brush your teeth. You've been alive for thousands of days, and there's still something new today that you can do right here, right now, that you've never really experienced before. There's an experience of going to a concert, but there's also the experience of brushing your teeth. Everything has a completely unique texture. Touch grass, and then touch sand, and then touch your skin. Feel how unique everything is. Then touch your pet dog, and then hug someone. It's all so unique if you stop and actually feel it. Smell your food before you eat it. Smell a tree. Smell a chair. Smell the fabric of your bed sheets. Have you ever took in that smell and just been with it for a few seconds? Look at something. Your mind will probably make a comment about it, but let it go. Look at the sky. Look at the crevices in your hands. Feel how it feels to look at the color. I was gonna say blue, but gray in this case. But have you ever looked at a color and took it in? It's really weird unless you know what I'm talking about. And we get there from being present and actually observing things. Look at the shades and highlights and notice how unique every single cloud is. Notice how unique everything is. Completely different from everything else with texture and feel and smell. Take it in. Taste as much as you can. Even stuff that tastes bad is usually just a comment our mind has made on it. Notice how every food just tastes somehow so unique. Why does an apple taste the way an apple does? Then have something salty, then have something sweet, and then have something that tastes really bad. But don't try to enjoy anything. Take it in, realize there is no such thing as bad food. Sure, things taste better than others, but isn't that all just a comment our mind is making on things? Don't strive for grand things. Try right here, right now, as soon as you're done watching this video, or you can go pause it and do something, and experience that. The thing that you've experienced every day, but you've just never sat back and enjoyed. This time, do it with presence. Do everything with presence and watch how joyful your life becomes. Watch how your life changes once you are not AFK anymore. The key to being present is to not get caught up with the chatter that's in your mind. There are 2 traps. Trap 1 is when you're doing something and then your mind is elsewhere. Trap 2 actually happens when you're not AFK and you're doing things with your senses. Eat a piece of asparagus. Probably tastes like shit, right? If I were to get caught up in thinking asparagus tastes like shit, suddenly I'm negative. But that's all because I fell into trap 2 and I got caught up with the thing that my mind made a comment on and I wasn't actually there just eating asparagus. When you eat, just eat. And the solution to both traps is the exact same. Just bring your attention right back to where it should be with whatever you are doing. Let that daydream go and let the comments your brain are making go lightly and with love. Once you realize you've been daydreaming and not here right now, don't think, oh, you're fucking horrible. Why can't you be present? What's wrong with you? Exact opposite of what we want to do. Instead, we want to think, oh, I'm supposed to be talking to this person right now, but I'm thinking about something else. I'm just going to experience talking to this person right now. And there you are, you're present. And I don't think daydreaming is a bad thing. It helps us plan our future, and sometimes it's just plain old fun, I'm not gonna lie. I like daydreaming about the past and reminiscing and being like, oh man, that was a nice time. But there is a time and place for that, and it's not when you're having dinner with your mom or when you're out with your friends. And a lot of times that good daydreaming is a small portion of what we actually daydream about. What we actually daydream about is usually mostly negative stuff. And there really probably should never be a time and place for that. We wanna kind of get into getting that negativity out of our life. So, today I challenge you to be present for one activity. It's going to be dinner. When you have dinner tonight, you're not going to put on YouTube and you're not going to be somewhere else when you're eating. If you're with people, you're going to eat and you're going to talk to them. And as you eat, smell the food before you eat it. Feel the saliva form in your mouth. Feel how ready, how primally ready you are to just devour this meal. Feel that. And then eat your food. And feel how your taste buds just light up and you are so fulfilled and there is nothing you'd rather be doing right now. Now imagine doing that with everything. And think about how more senseful, is that a word? How much we can feel more now that we're not AFK, that we're present. And I challenge you today, when you eat dinner, tonight, you are present for that. If your mom is at your table and you've been watching YouTube instead of talking to her for the last 3 years, I say that because I used to do that. Talk to her and enjoy your meal and feel everything that comes with eating the food. And remember dinner for what it used to be, a time to connect, not a time to just feel pleasure with watching YouTube and eating dinner at the same time. Experience eating your meal. If it tastes like shit, don't get caught up in that comment. Just eat. The Buddhists say, when you're hungry, eat. When you want to sleep, eat. Fuck, that's not what they say. One-to-one coaching calls and Discord in the description. Be present tonight, eat dinner, and your life is going to change.